Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. And yes, this is a squad game, England. So what we are doing is myself, John, and Pete. We've all come up with our own 26-man squads, and we're going to have a look at the squads and see who's picked the most interesting squad. But you and the chat can decide who's got the most interesting squad out of the three of us. And then towards the end of the show, what we'll do is we'll do a combined 26. So we'll combine all our squads together and come up with a 26 that we would like to have seen at the Euros in Germany. And before we get into the show anyway, if you do like what you see, then please do smash that like. It does help the channel up the search and it means new viewers find it more easy. So please do hit that thumbs up. That much appreciated. Thank you. Also, if you're brand new at the channel, come and hit the subscribe. I am now 34 away from hitting 1,200, so it'd be fantastic if I could get some new subscribers on board. Also, if you hit that bell notification, that lets you know when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming shows. So do smash that bell to keep informed. Also, if you want to become a member, it's 99p. You can do that by clicking the join button. And if you want to make a donation, you can do that in chat by clicking on the $sign. Any super chats, they get read out ahead of anybody else. But also, all money is reinvested back into the channel to bring you these great shows. So thank you very much. So anyway, I'm delighted to be joined by John and Pete. How are you guys?
Very well, Tony. Very well.
Big up to you, Tony and Pete. All good here. All good here. Just guess well, it's been an interesting few days to spell it out with you, but everything's good.
Yeah. Well, before we get into the show, I just want to say, look, we had a statement out from Newcastle United this morning that we saw. And look, we found out that Paul Dummett, there he is, and Matt Ritchie are amongst players being released by the club. Now, I've seen some people put out on social media about these players. Please, they're gone. It's time we had got rid of these years ago. Not being good enough. Well, hang on a minute. Before you go to that, no, I'm sorry. I think Matt Ritchie's been a terrific signing for us. He left us he left the Premier League when we went down to the Championship. He could have gone to West Ham, but he chose come to Newcastle because of Rafa Benitez. Remember, this guy scored the winning penalty against Man City at St James's Park when, some players would have froze or missed that. But this guy's been terrific, not only on the pitch, but also dressing room, on the bench, when he's played, whatever, training ground. And I wish Matt Ritchie well in his future career, whatever he chooses to do. Hopefully a Championship club takes him on loan, signs him for the season, and he does a job for them, helps them, so let's hope. And the same with Paul Dummett as well. Thank you for everything you've done. A local lad who's now, left the club after so long. But remember, he's had some good games for us as well. Not always been doom and gloom. We always remember that equaliser against Man United in the 3-3 draw. So look, this lad's been pretty all right, yes. Okay, injuries has had a lot to play on his career. But look, again, I'd like to see this lad get another club. And this lad actually deserves a testimonial as well. I'm going to come to you, John, just quickly on Matt Ritchie and Paul Dummett. Some of your thoughts on those two.
Yeah. Paul Dummett, look, he's already played. He's been at the club since he was 7, I believe. And he's been a great son for Newcastle United. But he hasn't played many games for the last few years. And he should have gone to a different club to get some game time elsewhere, in my opinion. But, look, he's been a great servant to Newcastle. And you know what? It's best for him if he moved on to a different club. And I wish him well. As for Matt Ritchie, you're quite right. He's joined the club since 2016 while he was in the Championship. And he's done some good things as well for us. He's worked hard. I love his work, creates his passion. And he's good for the club as well. But he's nearly 35. And for me, we need to get fresh blood in, which is good. And it's all good. And I wish him well. I hope he gets another club, maybe Bournemouth, and maybe he's in the Championship as well. I think Leeds would be perfect for him. I think it'd be good for Leeds United. And I just hope that all it is. I just hope he gets there. And before I go on to Pete, right, I just want to say very, very quickly, right, about the last video I did, right, with Alice, yeah? I posted out, I said that I want Man U to win, right, which is a tongue-in-cheek towards Alice. Alice knows that I'm a Newcastle fan, right? It was just out of character, out of just a bit, what's the word? Just tongue-in-cheek and all that as well. But one thing I'm going to say, guys, please, right, it's a banter. Alice knows that. I'm a Newcastle fan, always going to be a Newcastle fan, right? So please just knock it on the head, yeah? Because our fan base, some of our fan base are so quick to jump on people, right? And the can needs to stop now, please, people, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin the channel, like, you know what I mean? But I just have to get it in straight away because
No.
I even had my mates support Man U, right? I mean, they're not very happy about it. They know I'm a Newcastle fan. I always gonna be a Newcastle fan. So hey ho, I just gotta get it in there. I don't want to ban.
No, that's fine.
But there's too many people now. It's just jumping on. It's getting a little bit too much now, yeah. And personally, it's just getting a bit boring now. I don't want the bants, but just leave it. I said my bit on YouTube. Just stop it now, yeah.
Okay, that's fine, John. That's absolutely fine. Thank you anyway for that, John. Pete, so your thoughts on Richie and Dummett leaving the club, along with obviously Kel Watts, Loris Karius, who I wish we'd saw a little bit more of Karius, and of course, not forgetting, well, the Ballon d'Or winner, Jeff Hendrick.
Yeah, Paul Dummett, Richie, yeah. It's the right time that to get them moved on now, but yeah, been great servants to the club, as you mentioned. Of course, have done very, very well since the time to be here. Particularly Richie, get us up into the Championship as well. Been brilliant under Rafa Benitez. Shame he fell out with the previous manager before Eddie Howe. But yeah, again, where would we be at times without those two players in the team as well? Dummett's. Of course, you remember Dummett's cracking equaliser against Man United. Of course, I remember his first goal, professional goal, against Liverpool in the 2-2 draw at home. When he had to play centre-back, I think when Young Mbeumo got sent off in that game as well. Yeah, and he came up and scored the goal as well. So, but, yeah, it was the right time because the pair of them was like falling well down the pecking order, and considering their age, there they are now. With Dummett being nearly 33 this year, Matt Ritchie almost being a 35. Dummett, it'd be interesting to see where he goes. Ritchie, it's going to be a tough one because it could be another club, or who says that you might not be part of Eddie's backroom staff as well. You just never know. So again, it's interesting. But Karius, yeah, I'm a little disappointed why he didn't give him much of a chance.
Yeah.
It's just, why didn't we give the chance when Dubravka wasn't performing? Because Dubravka has cost us quite a lot of points in the season. He really has cost us quite a few points. And that's why we should have looked to give Karius a chance at times. But Karius, he needs games. And I believe he'll get games on the next club that he goes to. Kel Watts, just a shame it hasn't worked out. Only had one professional game, I think it was in July 2020, when football was behind closed doors since during COVID. But other than that, it's only been majority of pre-seasons. So again, a little disappointing that it's not technically worked out. It just wasn't to be as well. So, but in terms of Jeff Hendrick, what a waste of a signing and a waste of a shirt. I'm afraid. So, yeah, off the wage bill. Goodbye, and finally we can really well move on along from him. So, yeah. But Tom and Richie, I will wish them all the best. Of course.
Yeah, the only decent thing we got out of Hendrick was when he scored on his debut against West Ham at the London Stadium. And it was a cracking goal off the crossbar as well, wasn't it? So, yeah. Right. So,
No, I haven't,
have
Brian.
you been to the new shop yet? No, not yet.
No, not yet. No.
Not yet. No, I mean,
It looks nice. The shop though, it looks really nice. Considering it's only like a porter cabin, it looks really good. So, and look how quick we've took the Castor signs down as well.
Oh yes. Goodbye to Castori. Good riddance. In the bin. See you later.
quite nice.
Jeff Hendrick, this is worse than Diana. Gone too soon, sweet Irish prince.
Oh no.
Beer. Hendrick will go to a League One club and carry us to an Italian club, says Lawrence.
I think that club would be. I reckon that club could well be Monza. I think. Don't quote us on it. That could be Monza.
No. Well, hopefully you'll get some game time. That's the main thing.
Absolutely.
Right. So, we're going to look at our England squad. So I set the two guys a task as well as myself, and I said, look, I thought doing this show is something totally different. We've got no Newcastle United football at the moment. We're going to have the Euros coming up. So I thought, why don't we have something different? Why don't we do something that possibly other channels haven't done yet? And look, we thought, let's all come up with our own England squads and see what our 26-man squads are like and see what people think of the 26-man squads as well. And you can rate the squads in the chat. You can say, if you think John's or Peter's good, or, just tell us how you think the squads are. And, and then I might even put a poll up and you can vote for the best one out of that if you want as well. So, because I always like to try and keep the channel fresh as well. I like to put votes up for people so they can have their chance to have that say as well. So I'll pop a vote up a bit later on as well. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with John's squad first of all. So John sent me his squad last night. And quite an interesting squad that John did pick, to be honest with you. So John's gone for this squad, and then I'm going to ask him I'm going to go through some of it and ask him why he's gone for these certain players. So anyway, goalkeeping department, John's gone for Pickford, Henderson, and Ramsdale. Defenders, he's gone from Walker, Trippier, Maguire, Gueye, Shaw, Stones, Konsa, and Gomez. Midfield, he's gone Rice, Bellingham, Foden, Trent, Minu, and Gallagher. Up front, he's gone Kane, Foden, Gordon, Palmer, Tony, Saka, Grealish, Bowen, and Eze.
Tony, Odin's up front, and I've got to play Wharton. I've got to take a punt and go for Wharton in the mid.
Oh, yeah, because that's right. You've got Foden twice, John, there. So, yes, so you're going to go Wharton, aren't you? Adam Wharton, yes. So, you've gone Adam Wharton. Right, John, I'm going to come to your squad, John, okay? So, quite interesting. First one I'm going to ask is, why have you gone for Luke Shaw, who's injured?
Well, if he's fit, if he's fit, right, then that's the only left back we've got. And unless you play Joe Gomez there, Joe Gomez can play left back as well. Yeah. So Southgate's gonna pick him anyway, no doubt about it, because he's one of Southgate's favourites. So I'm gonna plumb with that. Going in the goal, right? Pickford, well, he's gonna be number 1. Yeah. Ramsdale could be a number 3. Henderson, he's a safe pair of hands. He's having a good season with Palace. And
yes, he is.
Absolutely. I think he's been really good in goal, to be fair. Makes some cracking saves under Ollie Glasner. Yeah. I mean, Trafford wouldn't even get a look in, because if you look at him, he could see over 70 goals this season. Yeah. For a poor Burnley side. I can't lie. Look at the back. I mean, you go for form. You got Walker. He's going to be in it all day long. Maguire, when he's fit, I'm sure he'll be out before the Euros. He'll be there. Trippier, he'll definitely get picked. Gueye, I think he's defending really well. I do rate him, by the way. I think he's having a good season under Glasner, getting new manager. John Stones, I mean, the reason I picked him, he can play 2 positions. He playing in defence and also mid, when called on. Konsa,
Yeah.
I think he had a fantastic season. He defends properly. He's got pace. He reads the game like a book. And it's cleaning the tackles well. I like that player. He has improved a lot under Emery. And Gomez, not just that, he can play left back as well if Shaw doesn't make it. So I could change that to Shaw pretty soon. In the midfield, I've just gone for 6 of them. I know it's a bit of a risk. Rice, Bellingham. Rice doing the right things, yeah. Declan Rice, fantastic midfield, wonderful season for Arsenal. Bellingham, world class. What more can I say? Trent is a very interesting one. I think he'll be in. Not only that, he can drop in the right back if needed. Manu, that guy is absolutely fantastic, yeah. And no, not a red, but I'm judging him as a player. That player has been absolutely fantastic all season. Yeah, he's going to get better. He's that good. Give him 5 years, right? I mean, Alice said he could then play for Real Madrid, and I have to agree with that. And Gallagher, it gives you that energy. Yeah, I mean, he has some good games and bad games for Chelsea. He's just coming into form. I rate Gallagher, by the way, and I hope. I mean, he could be on his way anyway in the summer, I believe. And then up top, you got Harry Kane, Phil Foden, Anthony Gordon, Cole Palmer, Tony as a backup to Kane. Saka, he'll definitely play on the right. He'll be first choice. He'll definitely pick Grealish. And I'm going to take a punt. I've got a feeling that I've thought about it between Bowen and Maddison, but I just got a feeling that Bowen might just get in. But as in string, and I'll go Ezzy as well, because I think Ezzy could be a surprise pick because he's been outstanding for Palace this season. So,
yeah,
I mean, if you want to drop someone in the midfield, right, because I've picked too many strikers there, Ezzy can drop back into mid. So, for me, I'm being flexible between defence and midfield and up front. Very flexible there. So, that's my 26. That's my team's going to go through and win the thing.
Brilliant. Right, I'm going to nip into some comments and then we're going to go into Pete's 26 as well and see what Pete's come up with. Very interesting team indeed. So, yes, absolutely, Mary. Not named on this channel, I'm afraid.
Oh, yeah, God,
I can't stand the bloke swearing. Ian says England's midfield is stacked when you think Bellingham, Rice, Ford and Gordon. That's naughty. Absolutely, Ian.
Big up, Ian.
Julie says pretty much agree with that. I'd include Guay.
Great.
Yeah, Guay. I think that's how you pronounce it.
The thing about Guay, right? He loves to defend, and he's got pace as well.
Mm-hmm.
I have to disagree on the Gallagher one. I don't like him, John. I think he's too far up his own backside, and I just think he's too arrogant.
Yeah,
I don't rate Gallagher much either. To be fair,
I wouldn't even want him at Newcastle United, John. That's how much I think.
I wouldn't have him in Newcastle. I definitely wouldn't have him in Newcastle. With fastest attitude at Chelsea, if he does come to Newcastle, right, and I don't want him here. Let's be real, right? I do not want him in Newcastle with that kind of attitude. We were not put with that at all whatsoever. Yeah, and the thing is, he's got to get used to sitting the fans very, very quickly. Otherwise, the fans will turn on him. We give him time, but I wouldn't have him.
No. Bright says, interesting squad, John Matey. Not sure I would have Trent Alexander-Arnold, though.
Again, flexibility, man. I mean, look, I can drop him from midfield back at the back, yeah. But if, if Walker's injured, sort of thing, Arnold will slip in there quite easily. Then again, Trippier can get in there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Southgate should have picked more natural right back, says Lawrence. Left back, sorry, I agree, Lawrence. As much as we hate Pickford, he's decent for England. He is, Julia, that's the thing. He's England's number one. and look, as much as we have, because he's the Mackham and he plays for the Scouse Mackhams and how much, we have this towards some D-Rex and all this. Look, when it comes to England, I mean, look, had we put the penalties away, he won us that Euro final because he saved 2 penalties in that game, He saved from Jorginho, who I think said after the game, he said, no keeper's got the right to save his penalties because he never misses. Well, Pickford saved it on that occasion because Pickford done his homework. He waited until he took his shot before he went. So, look, Pickford's played well for England in tournaments. The penalty saves against Colombia, back in 2018 in Russia, when we played in that awful game where the Colombians were really, really awful and they were trying to get England players sent off. When they were scuffing the penalty spot, things like that. They were absolutely awful, the Colombians were. And I'm glad we beat them because they got exactly what they deserved, and I don't care that Maradona went there with his Colombian shirt on or whatever, because, the end of the day, we got through, we beat them fair and square. But Jordan Pickford has played well in goal for England. So, as much as a rivalry aside, when it comes to England, I think we support them as one team. And you've got to have your best keeper. And unfortunately, as painful as it is to say this, but Pickford is probably the best of the bunch for England as it goes in goalkeepers. Andrew says, yeah, but when the keeper gets on a bit, he'll be at Old Trafford. Mary says, everyone loves a dino for England's Euros.
Oh.
Careful, John. Trafford might be coming to Newcastle, so it's a no for me.
Not for me. The thing is, though, I said on the clip yesterday that he should, as I said, if he is going to come to Newcastle, it's big if, I'd get him out on loan, with Burnley for one more year, get his confidence back, come back a better keeper. But for me, I would not the keeper I would take. I've seen people on social media saying that, but he's got potential, Yeah, the guy could see the 78 goals, in a poor Burnley side, I don't think he's ready for Newcastle yet. Go out there, pay the money for Mamardashvili. He would say he wants to say it for himself, but no one knows, Tony. Nobody knows.
No. That's the thing, nobody knows. He can move his feet, says Mary as well, and do something called saving as a transformation. I mean, his footwork's pretty good, isn't it, as well? Brian says, I bet Pete went for Henderson, Harry Maguire. Well, we'll see. We're going to go to his in a minute. Lewis also says, don't understand the Gallagher hate. I've rated him since he was at Palace.
We don't hate him, Steve. We don't hate him.
I just wouldn't have him.
No, I don't see the hype in him, to be fair.
People said Gordon was like that, but well, a lot different though. Julie says Trent Alexander-Arnold is a must, I reckon, and inform Trent Alexander-Arnold could win us the Euros, says Julie.
Could,
wow.
He could.
Ronald says, I'm no Red Devil, but where's Maguire? Nah, only kidding. I only hate Sunderland more than Man United. He says, people say about Gordon's attitude, but Gallagher would be a great sign for us if you ask me. Experienced young player who would do well in our team. That's if Ford don't do the double, says Mary. Daniela, hi Daniela, hope you're well. West Ham fan says Minu's been great since January, great prospect, but maybe a bit early for the first choice. Yeah, I think he'll be a bench player, but I think he's somebody who could come off the bench and help change the game. Lewis and Tino next time round, says Ian, absolutely.
Oh, yes, be great.
Julie says that Colombian game was awful. It was, wasn't it?
Really bad, that one.
Shocking.
Yeah. Disgraceful. The behaviour from them. I mean, there should have been 2 or 3 of them sent off that night. How they didn't get sent off was beyond me. Good evening, Lee Kelly. Hope you're well.
Big up, Lee.
Trafford ain't going to get the experience of Burnley playing the style exposes him, yeah.
I don't think that's a bad comment that Beers just made, because that Burnley team was just poor in general.
It was.
I don't think it was all down to Trafford, to be fair. Even the change keeper, what happened? Still went down.
Yeah, facts.
Conor Gallagher and James Maddison, not for me. Not a fan of their attitude on the pitch, says Green Sands. That's fair enough. Ian says, how do you like your humble pie? Lewis Hall will be a baller. Absolutely. And Lee says, spot on. Thanks. Right, Pete, I'm going to just get onto your team, and then we're going to have a look at your team. And then again, Pete, I will ask you, some questions
Okay.
on your team, and you can give me some. So your team.
Mhm.
So the 3 goalkeepers
Yeah.
for Pete is Nick Pope,
Yes, Paulby.
yeah, Aaron Ramsdale,
Yes, I did go for
and James
Ramsdale.
Trafford as these 3 keepers.
Yeah.
Why no Pickford, Pete?
Mm.
I just I just not because I thought you two might have picked them, so I thought, I'll pick
You're
some.
trying something different.
Try something different. Why not?
Yeah, okay. Right, okay, so so next one we've gone for we've got Kel Walker, Kieran Trippier, Tino Livramento, John Stones, Mark Way, Joe Gomez, and a one that I didn't think of either, Fikayo Tomori. Now then, Pete,
Very
interesting you've picked Livramento in there as well. And then you've also got Lewis Hall, Tyrick Mitchell, good shout, Levi Colville, and Luke Shaw. So what's your thoughts on them so far? You've got quite a lot of defenders in there, haven't you?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely, I do.
No Maguire?
I did pick Maguire. Just something different. Give some other players, defenders, a bit of a chance as well. Why doesn't Tomori get a chance in a tournament for England when the guy's won the titles in Serie A? Why doesn't that guy get a chance?
That's a good point because so is Pete, right? He just South just picks his favourites all the time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That guy, and a new manager, I guarantee you, he'll get an England squad. That guy is fantastic.
Again, yeah, Tyrick Mitchell, I picked up. I think the guy is a great player for Palace. I think he's done very well for Palace. Hall coming really through the ranks now. Same at Livramento. I know they play for Newcastle, but still, they're coming there through the ranks. Sure. And you've got to, plus with the others, you've got to have experience in there as well, like your Kyle Walkers, Trippier, and Stones, players like them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, now let's look at the rest of the squad now, Pete. So we've now got the midfielders. We've got Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham, Eze, Trent Alexander-Arnold, James Maddison. What's your thought process behind those midfielders, especially Maddison?
Maddison, if you want him to play a bit more forward, you can do. Or you've got Bellingham in there as well who could play that. Bellingham has just become a fantastic player. Declan Rice does a great job of protecting a defence. Look what the guy's done for Arsenal as well.
Yeah.
So you've got those players in there. Trent Alexander-Arnold, I think you see him play more for England as a midfield now rather than a right back. So
yeah,
and again, you've got to have the experience in there. So
yeah,
and not players who are
absolutely.
past it, like Henderson being one of them.
Yeah, absolutely, Pete. And finally, this is your forwards: Harry Kane, Ivan Toney, and Callum Wilson. Why Callum Wilson, Pete?
I know the guy's injured, but when the guy is on his game, he scores goals.
Yeah.
I know you might not be a regular star for England, but when the guy's on his game, he scores goals. You give him that ball, you give him the service, he tucks them away.
Yeah, absolutely. Brian says, bizarre how Company got the buy-in job. Tell you what, mind, I'm looking forward to playing Chelsea next season. I mean, look, the thing is, Brian,
he's got the job. Like, I'm a bit puzzled.
Now, this is my thought process as to why he's got the job. Because when he was manager at Anderlecht, he did okay for them. Then he went to Burnley and he got Burnley straight back up at the first attempt. Maybe he just didn't have. Maybe it's down to the fact the club doesn't have obviously the massive funds to get decent players in to help try and stay in the Premier League, and he was trying to play his brand of football. Maybe Bayern Munich's looked at, and this is what I've been thinking past few days, just thinking of Vincent Kompany, looking at it and thinking, one, he's a young man, she's 38 years of age. They're probably thinking, they've probably looked, and to be honest with you, they've probably watched him. Who's to say that Bayern Munich haven't had representatives at Burnley games watching how Vincent Kompany conducts himself on the touchline? Maybe they've been watching what he's doing and maybe thought, hang on a minute, this guy could be a top-class manager. Now, what say he doesn't go there next season and goes and wins Bayern the title? They may be looking at the fact, you go back to Leverkusen, who won their title this year. Xabi Alonso had never been a manager until he went there. And he's young. So maybe that's what Bayern Munich's looking at, thinking, younger manager, fresh ideas. And look, we know he's been a great player in his time. Fantastic player at Man City. Remember that goal he scored, that fantastic thunderbolt from about 30 yards. Look, the guy has always been a decent player. And yes, you can always say you can't always make a decent player into a decent manager. But this is where I'm thinking, this is where Bayern might just be looking at the potential. And if he goes there in his first season and he wins them that title and says gets them to even the semi-finals of the Champions League, that's probably success for their season. And then the thing is, if he does well at Bayern Munich, his stock's just going to go vroom, So, they've got some great players at Bayern Munich. Mm-hmm. So, that's where I'm thinking they're looking at the Vincent Kompany side of it, because they're looking at a young, energetic manager. And they've obviously watched how he conducts himself on the touchline. And you can read a lot from somebody's body language on the touchline. And even when you watch his interviews, he's calm, When we beat them, he actually praised us and said, we deserved that win, So a lot of things I like about Vincent Kompany. And I think, yes, maybe it could be a masterstroke. It could be a disaster for Bayern Munich. But then it could be a masterstroke by Bayern Munich. And and people will be saying, why did we ever doubt him going there? So, we'll see how he gets on next season with Bayern Munich. And I'm sure people will, no doubt it'll be all over the sports anyway, how he's doing at Bayern Munich. And look, but the bloke does well. Are you worried about? Are you a bit strange about that one, John? Do you think it's a strange appointment, or do you think I'm right what I was saying?
I think I see your take, but I've got a different opinion. The reason Bayern have gone for a young, energetic manager because they're checking what Leverkusen's done with Alonso. Yeah, they're obviously thinking, this is tongue in cheek, by the way. They're probably thinking that they got him right, thinking that Bayern, the table in the Bundesliga is upside down. You would have thought Bayern were second bottom of the table, but joking aside, right? I think he's, I think he should be. He must have won the flipping lottery taking that job on. Do you know what I mean? But I tell you something now, right? I wish him well. I think it's a bold move by Bayern Munich, right? They want a young manager, right? You just said there, the way he conduct himself, he's calm. He plays football the right way. They got the players to play free, open, attacking football. Yeah, they've got the players to do it. Yeah, no excuses. Yeah, Sané can do it. You got Kingsley Coman can do it as well. Yeah, you also got Gnabry as well. Those things play open attacking football and Harry Kane up top. Do you know what? I'd love to see how Kompany gets on with Kane. I think they're going to get on like a house on fire. I think, are they going to win the Bundesliga? I think it's going to be close, but I've got Dortmund favour for next season. I've got Dortmund favour just because I think Terzic, their coach, has had a fantastic season, finishing fifth in the Bundesliga, and they can really push on and on and on. But if you look at it now, it's a tough one. I think it's going to be close to the Bundesliga, but I said Dortmund. I think just Dortmund, but Kompany will do well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Andrew says he's felt very lucky, Kompany. I think I'll go to do the football draw card at my local footy next year and I might get on an Arsenal.
I tell you, do you hear the news about a Super Duper Mick won Manager of the Year? Super Duper Mick. He won them. He won that. He won that
God, Chippers. I could have put on. It's raining here. It's raining here.
It is here as well. It's absolutely pouring down.
I know, it's quite bright down here, like after a poor start.
So we've had John's team. We've had squad of 26. We've had Pete's squad of 26.
Did you read the rest of it, Tony?
No, you did not a funny didn't.
Did you read it all, Tony?
I think I did, Pete.
Right.
Yeah, so we went. So we'll go through your team again. So Pete's team is Nick Pope, Aaron Ramsdale, James Trafford, Kel Walker, Kieran Trippier, Tino Livramento, John Stones, Mark Way, Joe Gomez, Fikayo Tomori, Lewis Hall, Tyrick Mitchell, Levi Colville, Luke Shaw, Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham, Eberechi Eze, Trent Alexander-Arnold, James Maddison, Anthony Gordon, Phil Foden, Jared Bowen, Bukayo Saka, Harry Kane, Ivan Toney, and Callum Wilson.
Oh, yes, you did.
Yeah. I'm just going to ask you, Pete, why have you picked Luke Shaw when he's injured?
Well, I know he's a bit injury prone, but I think he's a really good left back when he is fit. I think he does. He does well to bomb up and down the flags when he is fitting on his game.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
He's still good when he's on his game.
Right. So here goes my England team. Now then, my England squad. And I did say there's going to be a lot of surprises in this team. Some people are going to be like, oh, hang on, I didn't see this coming, or well, I hope they do anyway. But anyway, so for my goalkeepers, I've got Jordan Pickford, Dean Henderson, and Nick Pope. Now then, people might say, why am I picking Nick Pope when he's just come back from injury? Now then, why is Ramsdale in the squad? Because look, Nick Pope got injured against Man United. And yes, he came back against Brentford. And I thought he did quite well against Brentford. He should have been in against Man United away, to be honest with you. But that's by the by now. Yeah, Pete, exactly. But I look at Ramsdale. Ramsdale's not played a lot of football this season. So what's the difference between him and Nick Pope? I would rather have Nick Pope in there. Nick Pope's probably had more minutes in the Premier League than Aaron Ramsdale this season. So that's why I went for Nick Pope. But I've put him there as third choice because, look, one, he's just come back from his injury and everything. But two, that means we've got a strong goalkeeping department there. So that's why I picked Nick Pope on that one as well. Right. So, but yeah, as I say, that's why I've gone. That's why I went Nick Pope on that one anyway. So, right. Okay. So for the defence. So I've gone Tyrick Mitchell. Now I looked at left backs, and obviously you've had the same process as me, Pete. I looked at left backs and I thought, who's a fit left back? Who's been playing well? One name springs to mind. That is Tyrick Mitchell of Crystal Palace. I think he's been terrific, and so I think he deserves to be in that squad. Next on my list of defenders is obviously Kyle Walker. Look, 33 years old and no chance of him slowing down either. The only one on Saturday, I think, who tried to get Man City going, had a couple of shots saved. Look, we know he's had his errors in the past, but I tell you what, this guy can get up and down the flank, and the pace he's got to burn is just like, as I say, for somebody who's 33 years of age, you'd think he's more like 23, not 33, because this guy is quick. So I've gone for Kyle Walker. I've also picked Harry Maguire, of course. Look, as much as people call him slaphead or whatever you want to call him, this guy, when he puts an England shirt on in tournaments, has been great for England in tournaments. Scores goals from corners, done it against Sweden in the World Cup 2018. The experience he's got, that's why I went Maguire. I've also gone for Mark Way as well. I think he's been terrific for Palace this season. And again, I think he's yeah, I think he's been absolutely fantastic for Palace. So I thought that's another one that I had to throw in there as well. Obviously, got Kieran Trippier in there. Again, we know Trippier has just come back. He's just come back from from his injury. But again, I just thought, no, Trippier has to be in there, and that was another one that I had to actually put in the squad as well. So Trippier for me. Plus, Trippier can play left back as well. Also, I've gone for John Stones, which, John Stones, we all know he is a good defender. He's played well for City this season. Pep Guardiola's got him playing a slightly different role. So he plays sort of a DM as well. And I think he's done really, really well. And this guy doesn't just win 13 major trophies for no reason whatsoever. £50 million when they signed him from Everton. He's still a terrific player. And another one that can get vital goals for you. I've also gone for another youngster in Jared Branthwaite. I think he's terrific as well. And I think he really suits the bill as well. And my final defender. Now, people say we're short of left backs, are we? Well, I've just managed to find another left back. Now, this is the one that's going to cause a lot of surprise amongst a lot of people here. And I've gone for Rico Lewis of Manchester City, 19-year-old. He's played in the Champions League this season, got 3 assists in the Champions League. He's got a couple of goals in the Premier League. I haven't picked Lewis Hall for the simple reason is I just think he hasn't had enough games. But Rico Lewis has done it over a bit of a longer period for me.
Interesting.
And I've left Luke Shaw completely out of the team. I don't think taking him at all. And I think Rico Lewis, that game when he played for the qualifier for England, was it Macedonia? He had a terrific game, man the match that night. He was fantastic. Look, he's a fast young left back who can get up and down. So I've gone for Rico Lewis on that one. So that's me picks in the defence there as well. Right, so I've sprung some more surprises in this squad as well, like I say. So obviously in the midfield, obviously we've got Mainoo in there, which, yeah, he was going to be in there anyway because I think he's played really well this season, Mainoo. For Man United, even though it pains me to say that he's played that well, but no, I think he's done really, really well, and I absolutely do think he deserves his spot in that team as well. So so for me, he's in there as well as Trent Alexander-Arnold. He plays in that midfield position for Southgate, and he's done really well in that midfield position, if you ask me. I'd rather see him in there than right back, if I'm honest. I wouldn't want to see him at right back because I think he can be a liability like he has been for Liverpool at times. But yeah, for me, Trent Alexander-Arnold's in there. Also, Jude Bellingham as well. I think Jude Bellingham is possibly the best player in the world. We're lucky to have him. He's gone to Real Madrid. He's absolutely smashed it at Madrid. Some English players go abroad and they don't do very well, but this guy this guy's a one-off. He's unbelievable. This guy. And look, I just don't know where this level's going to end. I mean, look, this is our best chance to win the Euros, and we've got some bloody great players in the squad. So anyway, from there, I've also picked another one, which might be a bit of a curveball. Obviously, I've gone like John has, Adam Wharton. There he is there on screen. But one player who isn't in this squad and I'm very, very disappointed he's not in the squad, and I would have preferred him in the squad to this other player that's actually in the squad. And there he is. It is Harvey Elliott of Liverpool. Why is he not in ahead of Curtis Jones? Why is Curtis Jones ahead of Harvey Elliott? I would have had him in the squad. I think he's a terrific young player. Liverpool's had him since 16 from Fulham. And I'll tell you what, why is he not in that England squad? He would be great to come off the bench. So, chaps, what's your thoughts on me picking Harvey Elliott? Are you surprised or are you shocked? Or
I don't think it's a bad choice, Tony, to be fair.
John?
When he plays on a Jurgen Klopp, I thought he's really good. And would I take him? Probably in a couple of years' time. But he is good. But I think the team Gal's going to pick is just ahead of Harvey Elliott at this moment in time. But he is really, really good. But
yeah,
I do like him. I do like him.
Yeah.
But can't see him doing it.
And then obviously the last player in my midfield, sorry I forgot to put on, was Declan Rice, which obviously he's had a cracking season for he's had a great season, hasn't he, for Arsenal. So we all know that. Right, so here's the forwards. So I've put them all as forwards because I put my wingers and everything as forwards. So this is like how I've picked my forwards anyway. So obviously the captain's in there, Harry Kane, there he is. Goal machine, a fit, firing Harry Kane could fire us to Euro glories in the summer. So keeping him fit is paramount. Then I've gone for Eze, which again, I think Eze has had a great, great season. I've also got Jared Bowen in there. I think he goes ahead of Maddison for me. I've also gone Phil Foden. Play him in the number 10 role, and we're flying. Telling you now. Give him a free roll. I've also put Cole Palmer in there. I'm not saying as a starter, but as a bench player, but a great somebody to have to come off the bench. So I've gone for Cole Palmer on that one as well. We've lost Pete for a minute there. I've also gone Ivan Toney as well. I think Ivan Toney has to be in that squad. I've put him in ahead of Ollie Watkins. Now, people might say, oh, why you not got Watkins for? I just don't think Watkins cuts it at England level, if I'm honest. And I think the style, the way Ivan Toney takes his penalties, I just think he offers... I just think Ivan Toney, he offers something different with his penalties. So that's why I've picked him ahead of Ollie Watkins. I think he's just that little bit better than what obviously Ollie Watkins is as well. So obviously I've gone for him as well. And I say that to the same way I've gone for Cole Palmer as well. I mean, he scored 20 goals in the Premier League, so you know, what's not to like on that one, you know. Then obviously I've got Anthony Gordon in the squad. Definitely has to be in the team. I think he could be one of the players of the tournament, if I'm honest, Anthony Gordon, because you know how well he's played for us this season. He's the best English left winger in the Premier League as far as I'm concerned. You know, quite rightly so that he took over from Rashford. Rashford got left out, and absolutely spot on from Southgate to get rid of him. Because Rashford's been awful all season, doesn't deserve a place on the plane to Germany, but Anthony Gordon does. And look, he could be one of the players of the tournament, one to watch. I've also got Bukayo Saka in there. We know what Saka brings to the team. He's more mature now than since he missed that penalty at Wembley against Italy. Now he's a different player altogether and a much better player. So I've got Saka in there. Now, here's for the one that I'm going to throw in, which a lot of people aren't going to realise, because, look, the reason I've threw this player in, now, before anybody says, oh, but he can't play for England. Yes, he can. He can actually play for 4 different countries, this guy, right? 4 different countries, and one of them being England. Now then, this guy I threw in here, I just would have loved Southgate to be bold and have picked him. because he could so well have done it, because he hasn't played any competitive games for any international team yet. Are you ready for this one, guys?
Go on.
Here he is. I've gone for Michael Olise. There you go.
Oh.
So the reason I've gone Michael Olise is because, yes, he's played for France under 21s, but he's not made an appearance for the French national team. Even if he'd played a friendly for the French national team, you can still have him in your team because he hasn't played a competitive game. Very surprised Didier Deschamps hasn't took him to the Euros. I'm very surprised at that, considering the season he's had. This is where I thought Southgate should have stepped up and maybe said, look, come and play for England, Michael. Come play for England. Because not only can Olise play for France or England, he can also play for Nigeria and Algeria. So there you go. So
interesting.
He's 4 countries he can play for, and he could have got the Euros and lit that Euros up. Yes, okay, we're stacked on the right wing side, but that was just mine as a curveball just to throw in there. I told you I had some surprises in my
You
side.
did, Tony. Yes, you did.
John, Olise, are you surprised at that one? That I threw that in there?
I am in a way because he's having a fantastic season, and every time I see him play for Palace, he's looked very impressive. He's direct, he's skillful, he scores some cracking goals, and it's just like it looks like a breakout season. But for me, I think he's going to understand in France. I agree with Foxy. He'll understand in France because I think he ended up playing in the Olympics, and I just can't see him playing for England, I'm afraid. So a lot of people are going to be very disappointed. Yes, he's a Hammersmith lad, but he opted to play for France, and I just can't see it happening to him, I'm afraid. So
I'll run through my squad again. So I've got Pickford, Henderson, and Porpoise, the 3 keepers. I've got Kel Walker, Kieran Trippier, Harry Maguire, John Stones, Tyrick Mitchell, Rico Lewis, Jared Branthwaite, and Mark Way. Midfielders of Jude Bellingham, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Harvey Elliott, Adam Wharton, Menu, and Declan Rice. I've left Maddison out. I don't think he's good enough for the England squad. Yes. I've left Grealish out as well. I don't want Grealish near that team. I think Grealish has been absolutely awful this season. He's hardly played much. And to me, all Grealish is a bit of a big girl's blouse, likes to fall down and try and get free kicks. There's better players we can put in there ahead of Grealish, I'm afraid. So I've gone for my forwards as Anthony Gordon, Harry Kane, Ivan Toney, Eze, Saka, Foden, Palmer, Bowen, and obviously I threw Olise in there just as a bit of a curveball. So yeah, that's a 26 that I've chosen. But yeah, that's what I've done for that anyway. So I will put a poll out there as well in the chat, and you can all have your say on the poll as well. So I will pop a poll up in there in a minute. Is it Pete? Is anything you want to add to the team that I've put out there, or?
No, I think some really good surprises in there, Tony. I wasn't aware that Olise could actually play for 4 countries. To be fair,
yeah, you can do, yeah.
I kind of agree. I mean, very surprised, but I think he's chose France anyway. So when he does the interview, he's very quiet. But you know what? If he plays for France, I wish the kid well. I really do.
Yeah. I mean, John, is there any other surprise in my squad that you're quite shocked at? Like you thought, I never thought of having him in the team. And
well, Olise is one of them. Harvey Elliott's another. And and as a Pete, there's Tomori as well. I think Tomori's been fantastic again. And was he 6'1"? He deserves to be in the team. He deserves to play for England. But I just don't understand why he's not in it. Crazy.
very crazy.
Yeah,
very crazy, man.
So I've just put a poll I've just put a poll there, and it's asking who's got the best squad. So it's myself, John, or Pete. So you can have your vote on that. and we'll see the results before the end of the show. So do get voting, guys and girls, in there as well. Let's go and see if I can get through some comments. Okay, read that one earlier on. Son in search for a coach. It's 100 days stay, maybe Lord Lucan doesn't want the job. Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. Honestly, yeah, definitely, mate, definitely.
You know what it is, right? I mean, you go to Europe, right? I mean, not being funny, but they would have placed their new coach inside a week. But 3 months, that is shocking.
Son and Echo Ronald says there's a big scoop that Harry Kane is the first Englishman to win the Golden Boot since Kevin Phillips. So what? I mean, they're just trying to put a story out there just to sort of sound good. You see, that's it. That quickly diminishing in the northeast Sunderland, unfortunately. You know,
God,
they've just laid that new pitch today. It's called a mud bath.
Oh, mud bath. Oh, Jesus.
Well, had to be said.
In fact,
Green Sand says Slabhead scores both goals at both ends for any team. He has a lot of experience, but man, he F's it up at times. Yeah. Lawrence, I think Hall might be for the 26 World Cup squad. Yeah, possibility. It won't matter, won't win it anyway, says Niall. The problem is Southgate won't play Bellingham in the position he does for Real. No, that's a thing.
Yeah, that's been sorted.
Foxy, I prefer Jones myself. Think he offers more going forward, says Clarkey, rather than Harvey Elliott. It's always baffled me. Southgate, he plays defensive football, but our real strength is attacking. Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's got no excuses now, Southgate, because you look at the team we've got, who are very, very attacking. Now, just let the players express themselves, yeah? Because it has to now. He's got no excuses. Because I tell you now, we don't get far in Europe, right? And we don't play attacking football. I think South is going to have a bother. They'll never sack him. They will not sack him.
Foxy says Curtis Jones should be one of the players cut from the squad anyway. Yeah, I think he probably will be, to be fair.
Yeah, he probably will.
Ian says Foden, Bellingham, Kane, Gordon, countless others, and he insists in the Tony's to try and defend the journeys. Kane is a legit trophies drop in, bring in Wilson, says Bia. Yeah, Cole Palmer has to be in the squad after the season. Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant.
Do you know what? I wish, why didn't we bloody go in for him? A right winger? We could have had a right winger, 45 million quid.
Yeah.
Julie says, I agree, Tony, better than Watkins. Yeah, absolutely.
Just don't think Watkins is doing it much at international level. That's the problem.
In the Premier League, he's great, but the games that I've watched when Watkins has played for England, and I've just not been impressed, and I'm like, no, sorry, really not for me.
Exactly.
No. Not for me. I'd rather have Ivan Toney going, if I'm honest.
That's the thing. I don't think Watkins is going to make it either.
No, I don't think so either. Tony shows less fear nerves than Watkins. Thank you very much. Saka would miss that penalty now. No, absolutely not. No chance he would now. Not at all. Not at all. Clarky says, Tony's always been a good horse, no fear. Cheers. Thank you very much, Clarky, my friend. How are you, lads? Hi, Jody. Hope you're well.
Jody.
Elise would be an amazing sign if we do. So, do you know what? I'd love him at Newcastle, Elise. Absolutely.
Well. So would I.
Are you three picking manager as well? We're not picking a manager.
No.
We're just just picking the squad. We just had a look at this squad, and we just thought we'll do something show something different, and other channels have probably not done any. I know other channels have done anything like this, not as far as I know. So I just thought, look, we know what's happening in the world of football at the moment, so we thought, let's have a look at something ahead of the Euros, Let's have a look how the poll's going so far. If I expand this poll, at the moment, who's got the best squad? Pete's got 0 votes. Come on, let somebody get a vote for Pete. John's on 12%, and I'm out on 88% at the moment. So at the moment, people are favouring my squad at the moment. So maybe is that because I've got 2 left backs in there as well? Well, technically, I've got 3 left backs in there because Trippier can play left back. But 2 natural left backs I've got in there, Mitchell and Rico Lewis. I thought, when I'd done my squad, and I thought, hang on, Rico Lewis, why hasn't he been mentioned? If we didn't have Lewis Hall, I might have looked at it and thought, why don't we go try and get Rico Lewis from City? Transfer market's got him down to 30 million already, and he's only 19 years of age. So same money as what we paid for Lewis Hall. And they're both lightning quick, the 2 of them are. Tony will take a penalty and win it. Could be interesting in the Euros. Absolutely, Mary. I like Elliot as well. Tony, if they could stretch him out a bit, says Ian. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Alicia looks great. Yes, he does. Maguire in England should show up for repeated Euros. The mighty Ben. Is that Ten Hag or John Sinclair? It's John. Torsten centre back, but only if he signs for us. We're going to talk about that in a moment anyway. Grealish is perfect for the squad, says Foxy, especially if we're winning and slow the game down the final minutes. Eze deserves to go. Don't think he will. Where does he get minutes ahead of Bellingham or Foden?
He doesn't, does he? Nowhere near.
That's a point, isn't it? Yeah, where does he get the minutes ahead? That's the thing, yeah.
And that's exactly right. Bellingham and Foden's going to be first choice anyway for Saka. So he's got no excuses now to look at it, right? Look at the team we've got. Absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect, that team. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Joppy Donny says, I missed them, so I can't vote. Right, I'll tell you what, Joppy Donny, I'll go through the squads for you. So John's squad, this was what John picked. Pickford, Henderson, Ramsdale. Defenders, Walker, Trippier, Maguire, Gueye, Shaw, Stones, Konsa and Gomez. Midfield of Rice, Bellingham, Adam Wharton, Trent, Alexander-Arnold, Minu and Gallagher. Forwards, Kane, Foden, Gordon, Palmer, Tony, Saka, Grealish, Bowen and Eze. So that was John's squad. Pete's squad was Nick Pope, Aaron Ramsdale, James Trafford, Kel Walker, Kieran Trippier, Tino Livramento, John Stones, Mark Gueye, Joe Gomez, Tomori, Lewis Hall, Tyrick Mitchell, Levi Colville, Luke Shaw, Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham, Eze, Trent Alexander-Arnold, James Maddison, Anthony Gordon, Phil Foden, Jared Bowen, Bukayo Saka, Harry Kane, Ivan Toney, and Callum Wilson. That's who Pete went for, and my 26 was Jordan Pickford, Dean Henderson, Nick Pope, Kyle Walker, Kieran Trippier, Harry Maguire, John Stones, Tyrick Mitchell, Rico Lewis, Branthwaite, and Mark Gueye.
Yeah.
Jude Bellingham, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Harvey Elliott, Adam Morton, Declan Rice, Minu. And then for my forwards, it was Anthony Gordon, Harry Kane, Ivan Toney, Eze, Saka, Foden, Palmer, Bowen, and I threw a daft one in for Elise. So that's what I threw in there, Jota Donny. So that's what I put on. So I know that was a quick run through, but hopefully that's helped you a little bit. I know what you mean, Mudbath. It's like having a Ferrari but running in economy mode. Yeah, let them go throttle it. Ian says, not voting, I'm Scottish. Yeah, you're looking forward to the Germany-Scotland game, aren't you?
I'll tell you what, Scotland, Scotland's got a tough
game. I'd love to beat the Germans.
They'll not beat Germany. Switzerland's going to be tough. Hungary has definitely improved. And the thing is that Scotland's going into the Euros not on good form either, which is not good at all.
Yeah. Andrew makes a good point. He says Watkins is like Letitia and Steve Bull. They were good at their club level, but didn't do it with England. Another one recently. Bamford, he was shite in his England game. Look, so on my squad, obviously I've put Elise in there just as a curveball. But if I took Elise out of there, who would I replace him with? James Ward-Prowse. There you go.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because I think he's had a good season for West Ham.
I think he had first season as well. One of the better players, to be fair.
The votes on It's All Black and White TV, Niall. So if you want to nip over there, and that's where the vote is, mate. Thank you.
Cool.
On my channel, It's All Black and White TV. And guys, if you're new to the channel, do hit that subscribe. That'd be fantastic. Helps the channel out. And also smash the likes as well on It's All Black and White TV. Thank you very much indeed. People aren't voting for John because he wants Bruno Fernandes.
Oh,
Bruno Fernandes.
Number one, he's Portuguese. Secondly, I'm not a red.
Wayne says, out of the two, who would you prefer, Elise or Eze? He says, Eze is my pick. What, Newcastle United win? Oh, God.
probably Elise for me because we've kind of got quite a few centre midfielders. That's the only thing.
But you know what it is, right? Before Eze went to Palace, obviously, Jamie Rubin, we all know, was a director at QPR.
Yeah.
And it was touted when our takeover was trying to go through before it eventually went through, but this was probably about the year before it went through. There was a report saying that Jamie Rubin, when he came into the club, he would have left QPR obviously and then come to us, and he would have tried and get Eze in. But obviously the takeover didn't go through when it should have gone through, and obviously Eze went to Palace instead. But yeah, now it'd cost you a lot of money. Yes, but you are English and Welsh, Mason. Gosh, honestly. Yeah, thanks, Green Sands, for that, mate. Anthony Gordon to get the winner in the final. Bet you a pint, says Andrew.
You'll see so.
In the water? Absolutely, mate. There you go. Well, in fact, I'll bet you a bottle of water. And yes, AG, not PG.
Oh, God.
PDP doing great in the poll.
Have I got any votes yet?
Yeah, okay. The latest in the polling at the moment, so we'll leave the poll on a bit longer. Yeah, so Pete's in third place on 9%.
Getting some votes
John's
finally,
second on
enough.
18%. And I'm 73% in front at the moment. So it's, yeah. But that could all change. I don't mind England winning, Mason. Just don't like the reaction of the media to arrogance. Tough as shit. I go with Tony, says Chopradoni. Thank you very much. Steve Bull got kicked out of the England squad for punching Gary Lineker. How many of us would like to do that now, says Bia. God. Oh, God, honestly.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Oh, God. Yeah.
John, you'll never forget that,
for
ever.
the tune. For the tune, I don't know. It's a hard one. We really need a right winger, so I'd have to say Elise. There you go.
I'll go with that as well, Tony. I mean, both fantastic players for me. I mean, I would have loved to do it, but the trouble is FFP has killed us. Absolutely killed us. And you know what he done this, Tony? So he don't spend big. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So they're coming in now. Right. So, as I said, what we'll do is now, if you want to, what we can do is we can do up a combined squad of 26 of out of the players that we've come out with. And we can make up a 26 out of that. That sounds good for you too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So, looking at your squads, goalkeepers, I'll start with you, John. Out of your goalkeepers, who are you picking as a goalkeeper in your squad? Or in the combined squad?
Okay.
We can all pick a keeper each, can't we?
Yeah, we do that. For me, Pickford.
Pickford. Pete?
It's going to be Pope for me.
Yeah, and I'm going to say Dean Henderson because Henderson's played really well this season for Palace when he stepped in for the injured Sam Johnson. So Pickford, Dean Henderson, and Nick Pope are the three keepers that we're picking, even though Nick Pope's not in that squad, which is a shame because I think he's better than Aaron Ramsdale. But that's just my opinion, or that could just be because I've got my black and white glasses on. And yeah. Right, okay. So defenders, where do you think we want to go on defenders? Are we definitely saying Kel Walker in the squad?
Yeah,
Yes.
right back.
Yeah, okay. So we're definitely saying Kel Walker. I've got to write this down, right? So I'll tick that off. Kel Walker, yeah. Kieran Trippier,
Yes.
Yeah, left back.
because he's got the experience, hasn't he, as well?
Yep.
So as has Kel Walker. Right, left backs now. Now we've got some left backs in there, John. Now, obviously, I think you've got Luke Shaw. You've got Luke Shaw, Pete. We've also got Pete got Tyrick Mitchell, like I did as well. And we got Rico Lewis as well, which I threw in there. So I'm going to go to Pete. Give me two left backs for that team that you would take.
Oh, I'm going to go Tyreek Mitchell's one of them.
Yeah.
I'll just keep Luke Shaw.
Luke Shaw. Okay, so we're not saying Luke Shaw. Although I didn't even pick him in my team. So we're going Luke Shaw. John, who are we going for centre backs then?
Harry
Four centre
Maguire.
backs.
4 centre backs.
Maguire.
Okay. For
Yeah.
me, I'll go with Maguire,
Yeah,
John Stones,
yeah,
Geary,
yeah.
and I'm going to have to go with Gomez at the minute, but that could change.
Gomez.
That could change.
Ooh.
So we're not taking the youthful Branthwaite. So okay.
I could
Right.
change. I'm going to change my mind on that, Tony, on Brathwaite. Brathwaite, I'm going to replace him with. Oh, it's a hard one. I want Gomez in there, you know, but no, I'll go with experience. I'll go with Gomez.
I haven't even picked Gomez in my team.
Nah.
Because I looked at Gomez and I thought, no, I'm not that keen on him. I know he's got a long throw, but no, other than that. So this is what our squad is so far. We've got the keepers of Pickford, Henderson, and Pope.
Mm-hmm.
Defenders: Walker, Trippier, Maguire, Stones, Branthwaite, Luke Shaw, and Tyrick Mitchell as your left backs, your specialist left backs as well. Midfield obviously definitely picks itself with Jude Bellingham. Do you agree with that one? Trent Alexander-Arnold in there as well. Obviously, Mainu will be there and Declan Rice as well. Now, we put a couple of curveballs in, Pete. Harvey Elliott and Adam Wharton. Who else do you think will go in that? Who else do you think will fit in that midfield? Or who would you prefer in there?
Cool. So I think I'm going to go for Harvey Elliott.
Yeah.
Yep.
And one more midfielder.
Oh. Oh, Adam Wharton, is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. Yeah, well, I'll pick him.
Okay.
Indeed.
Right. So, looking at forwards now. So, John, Who do you want to see in that lineup? Like forwards, I'm classing like wingers, attackers, strikers, whatever you want there, John.
So how many can you pick?
We can put 9 in there.
9. Okay.
9.
Wow.
Because we've gone for 8 defenders.
Yeah.
And we've gone for 6 midfielders.
Okay. Thanks very much for that. I've got to go Harry Kane.
Yeah, definitely Harry Kane, yeah.
Saka,
yeah.
Ronnie,
Yeah.
Foden.
Yeah.
I'll go with Esse for experience. It's 5.
Yeah.
I know you've got to give us 4 more, haven't you? I did say Grealish.
Okay, we'll stick him in there.
Gordon, Anthony Gordon.
Yeah.
I named
2
7.
more places.
Gee whiz, you put us on the spot now, haven't you? Esse, go on, Esse.
You've already picked him, John.
Did I? And I put Elise as well, did I? Flipping.
We've got Gordon, Kane, Tony, Eze, Saka, Foden, Grealish. You've got 2 more you can put in there.
Thanks very much. Cole Palmer and Jared Bowen.
Yeah.
Really?
Do you agree with that one as well? Right, okay.
Yeah, I do.
So this is the squad that we've come together with. So we've gone Pickford, Henderson and Pope in goal in the goalkeeping department. Walker, Trippier, Maguire, Stones, Mitchell, Luke Shaw, Branthwaite and Mark Guay. Midfield, Jude Bellingham, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Harvey Elliott, Adam Morton, Mainu and Declan Rice. Then we got Anthony Gordon, Harry Kane, Ivan Toney, Eze, Saka, Foden, Palmer, Bowen and Grealish.
Did I say Foden as well, did I said Foden as well. I did say Foden, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it was just Foxy assist Foxy, so I didn't want him. He'd be in the 2 hands.
So, yeah, I mean, look, you got players not even though the class attackers, but you can get like Foden can drop back into midfield, so can like Eze. So it's not like, there's a bit of versatility there, isn't there? Even Anthony Gordon can drop back. But not only that, not with Anthony Gordon, you've got the attacking side, but Anthony Gordon gets back and helps out defensively. Something Rashford doesn't do.
No.
And maybe that's why as well, not only because of the fact that Rashford's been absolutely dross this year, but also maybe Southgate's looked and thought, well, actually, look at the track and back Gordon does as well. He comes in handy as an extra defender. So, I mean, look, the first game we've got is against Serbia on the Sunday. That's going to be a hard game. It's not going to be easy. And with it being the first game as well. But I still expect us to win that game.
Yeah, same.
Just got to stop a certain Mr. Mitrovic from scoring.
Yep.
Scoring goals in a minute in the Saudi.
Yeah, that's in the Saudi League, John, isn't it? I mean, I don't know if he'd do that in the Premier League. The way he's doing it in the Saudi League. I'd be winning the bloody golden boot over Haaland every year, wouldn't he?
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, look, that's going to be a tough game. Serbia, it won't be easy. But then again, it's a game we should win. And I say that with bated breath, that we should win. We should win. But, nothing's a given in football, is it? So...
No.
But, at the end of the day, it's... let's hope we start off with that win. I mean, that's an 8 o'clock kickoff as well. When we play Serbia. And then after that, we play on the Thursday, which is the 20th of June. We've got Denmark. Again, that won't be an easy game. That's a rerun from the semi-finals back in the last Euros. And that's a 5 o'clock kickoff against Denmark as well, guys. By the way, on that one. I'm not sure when our next game is. I think, is it the Tuesday? I think it is. Yeah, Tuesday. And that's an 8 o'clock kick-off against Slovenia. You know, you look at that group. We shouldn't have any problems getting out of that group whatsoever. We should. Denmark, it'll be tough. Serbia, I think, will be tough. But I still think we've got enough. We have enough to get out of that.
It all depends what our mind has said is Southgate going to go out with. That's the still a cause of concern, but we'll see.
I've got a feeling, you know, he's going to attack these Euros. I've just got that feeling for somehow.
We've got to with the players if we're going to take that. It looks like they're going to be called up.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a tough one. But look, I can see Southgate going there and attacking this tournament. I really can. And if this is to be Southgate's last tournament, maybe he might want to go out fighting rather than going out on a whim. So I would rather see us go out and attacking.
But we can't show teams too much respect. That's the thing. We did that with France in the World Cup. They weren't that great. We showed them too much respect, and we gifted that second goal we handed to them by not picking Giroud in the box up.
Yeah. I think if Kane scored that second penalty, I think we would have beaten France, if I'm honest. And then we could have beaten Morocco and then got the final. But, you know, not to say that we might have won the final, but
we've got to get the substitutes right if it's not going well as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Players like Grealish on right at the end, but in the last kick. Like he did against France as well.
Yeah. John, what's your thoughts on them games? I mean, Serbia, Denmark, then Slovenia.
It's games should win. I mean, Serbia's they're gonna make it difficult for us, and for me, I think we should be Serbia because it's not going to be easy. Denmark is going to be tough, but I think you might just about have enough to beat Denmark. They will work hard for the team, and Slovenia, they got a certain Benjamin Sesko up front, so I fully expect us to win. I'll probably get 9 points out of those 3 games, finish top of the table, and we move. Win the first 2 games, then we'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah, I agree, John. I agree.
They're going to make it physical. They're going to make it really tough physical first. And it won't be easy. It will not be easy. But look at the draw. I'm happy to draw in the first place. And yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely, John. I mean, look, just looking at the rankings, we've obviously dropped down 1 place because Belgium's gone above us now. We're now fourth in the world rankings. We're above Brazil.
Yep.
You know, I'm just trying to see where the likes of Slovenia and that are. Denmark are 21st in the world. Serbia are 33rd. They have just dropped down 1 place as well.
Ooh.
And where is Slovenia on this list? Slovakia, Martin Dubravka, 48th in the world. Slovenia are 57th, have dropped 2 places. So if you look at that, I know you shouldn't go on rankings, but if you look at the rankings, we should win them games.
Yeah, I agree. We don't know a lot about Slovenia, though. We don't really know a lot about them. I'm not going to lie. But Denmark, we do. Yeah. And Serbia, it's not going to be, like I said, it's not going to be easy, but they physical size Serbia, they're a big physical team. But we'll cope with them.
Yeah. I mean, Slovenia finished ahead of Denmark. Oh, no, they didn't. Sorry. Slovenia got beat off Denmark 2-1. They've beaten the USA 1-0. They've beaten Portugal 2-0. They drew 2-2 with Malta, beat Kazakhstan 2-1 Slovenia, and they beat Northern Ireland 1-0. Yeah, that's Northern Ireland. That's the one I'm quite interested in, the Portugal one, because I just want to see what the lineups were, because I'm interested to see. So for Slovenia, they had Oblak in goal and Sesko up front. Who was playing for Portugal? Had a strong team out. This was a Portuguese team. Costa in goal, Pepe, Pereira, Inacio, who we've been linked with, Cancelo, Vitinha, Ruben Neves, Diego Dallo, Otavio, João Felix, and Cristiano Ronaldo.
Very interesting.
So Slovenia beat them.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
The goals came from Serene and Elsnik, so 72 and 80 minutes. So I'm not sure if there was any subs off by then. But that's interesting, isn't it? But there again, that's only a friendly. That wasn't a qualifier, so you know, qualifiers matter more. I mean, Ian McKenna says we have a devastating attack. Use it. Absolutely, Ian.
Absolutely,
I totally agree, mate. BS says, remember when Southgate kissed that naked guy on the field for Villa? I don't remember that one. Lauren says we should win the group, although I feel we may drop points elsewhere. Paul Taylor says hi. Hi to you, Paul.
Hi,
Hope
Paul.
you're well.
You in, Paul?
Julie says, yes, we have Mitrovic to deal with. Denmark will be difficult for those working. Yeah. I mean, look, it's a silly time, 5 o'clock kickoff. I don't know why it's a 5 o'clock kickoff.
Which one's the 5 o'clock? Our first game?
Denmark on the Thursday.
Should be
Thursday, the 20th of June.
Yeah, and the Euro's only 2 weeks away as well, so bosh.
Yeah, it's not far away. Away.
It's not, no. Looking forward
to it. I reckon Serbia will win 1-0 against England.
Oh.
Get away, Bia. On your bike. Lee says, when Kane missed the penalty, throw the football on the pub floor, they said, bloody hell, it's landed here.
I love it. Oh, that's good.
That's a brilliant one, isn't it? It's the way through a football on the front. So it's landed, yeah. Oh, God.
Oh, wow, Lee. Wow, Lee. That's Jesus. Brilliant.
I like it.
That is class.
Julie.
Hey?
Oh, Julie.
Oh.
Thanks.
Oh, brilliant, isn't it? Oh.
Julie's just come up with a cracking one as well.
Oh, I'll come on to that in a minute. Hang on, let's have a look in a minute.
That is...
I mean, look, when Harry Kane, like I say, you know, he missed that penalty. It weren't that great, really, because, I mean, well, he should have, to be honest with you, he should have scored. He should have scored that penalty in the World Cup, and I was really, really raging when that happened because it was a great chance. But mind, when that penalty was missed, everybody took to the telescopes because this is what happened when they took the telescopes. They said, Jesus, there's the ball. Pete's gone.
Oh. I think John's frozen.
It's out of this world, wasn't it?
I think John's frozen there. Yeah,
he has. It was out of this world, Pete. The ball killed many pigeons.
Julie. Yeah, that was the comment she come up with.
the new Newcastle top. Yeah, I mean, look, 7th of June, that's the launch day. We're seeing stuff online, but to be honest with you, I'm not getting excited about the stuff I see online. I want to see it from the club. And I want to see the official stuff. I don't want to look. It looks nice from what I've seen, but I just want to see. I want to see it when it's launched, and and look. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for to see the day when it's launched. No, Harry, not your football. That's not what I'm on about. The launch. I wasn't on about that launch. I'm on about the Newcastle shirt, not that launch.
Oh, John's back.
So yeah, I can't wait to see the shirt. As a flattened my semi.
Oh.
BS says Newcastle are interested in Villarreal's goalkeeper Philip Jorgensen. Yes, I saw that as well, Bia. Another keeper. I mean, look, he's a youngster. Well, I say a youngster. Not exactly a youngster. He's 22 years of age. I've got his stats here, actually. Let's have a look. He's 190 centimeters tall, so he's about 6'3". 22 years of age, Danish guy, keeper. He's worth about £12 million, I reckon. 36 games he's played all season, been team of the week twice. Long shot savings, his strengths, but he's got no weaknesses. He concedes 1.8 goals per game. 90% of successful runouts per game. Makes 69% saves per game as well. In 36 games, he's kept 6 clean sheets.
Mm-hmm.
He's had 3 errors that's led to a shot, none that's led to a goal, and he's committed 1 penalty. 4 yellow cards all season as well. He's won 100% of his aerial duels, and he's even 100% on his successful dribbles. Ball recoveries per game is 8.5, which is, wow, that's great. That's great. Now then, let's have a look. I took that off now. I don't think that's... hang on. Now I'm going to compare him to Mamardashvili and see if there's much comparison between the two keepers. Right, so I'm looking at this. So looking at him between him and Mamardashvili. Saves wise, they're not far off from that. Aerial, yeah, they're not too bad, not far apart there. Ball control, it's more in Mamardashvili's side than it is Jorgensen. Tackling, they're more or less there. So yeah, they're more or less even, but but again, it's one to keep an eye on. But yeah, but there again, all these different stories about goalkeepers we're looking at, these could be curveballs because we don't know. We don't know what's going on. We don't know if, for all we know, Newcastle could have a deal for Mamardashvili already wrapped up, ready to sign off when the transfer window opens. We don't know. We just don't know. So we'll just have to wait and see.
The thing is, like, Tony, I've seen a lot of rumours on transfer deals. Right, so we're going to get this player, we're going to get that player, deals been agreed, this and another. I read all this ITK. Nobody knows what's going on, yeah?
We don't know
people need to.
It's not Friday, Chippers, yet.
Chippers, 7 till Friday, mate. 7 till Friday. Come back on Friday, mate. Now, listen, right? I mean, people's got to understand, right? Nobody knows. This is why I'd rather wait till the club to announce officially, right? And I'll tell you what, right? We are going to get players coming in, and it's going to come, but we got to be patient. It's as simple as that. But again, Again, all these players are making up names. No one knows about it. It's as simple as that.
Rough. The rough yet Benitian says Chelsea are in for Villarreal's keeper. Apparently, surprise, surprise.
I think they just like to discuss who we're after. Tosin, apparently Mamadashvili.
Well, I've heard that apparently, and I just saw this on Twitter, wherever it was. But anyway, it was on there, and it said Tosin wouldn't be a great signing for Chelsea because he wouldn't be a Maresca type player.
Interesting.
But you see, Chelsea have got a lot of centre backs as well. I know you said
Batshuayi.
that. You said it looks like they're trying to get rid of some, but they've got loads of them at the moment. I think they'd have to get rid of some of those first.
They got rid of Thiago Silva as well.
Apparently, they're putting up Shalabar, Badiashile, and Disasi for sale.
And those haven't been there for Disasi and Badiashile haven't been there for very long.
No, but they've looked poor, haven't they? But there again, anybody can look poor at Chelsea the way they are at the minute. It's just a bit of a scatty club.
If they get this Leicester City manager, I think it could be a right gamble.
Do you know what it is? I'll tell you now. Yesterday, I think it's a couple of days ago, I put out a post, right? I mean, I've got to mention his name, right? He is a young lad. You guys know Harry Scarf, right? Put out a post saying that if they get Maresca, it will be a massive gamble. Chelsea will go backwards, yeah? He didn't get a pile, right? I posted out a tweet saying that Chelsea will be a done club if they get Maresca, right? And guess what? People piled onto us because I was being unfair. I was just speaking the truth, people. Do you know what I mean?
I think it would be a gamble.
It was Pete. I'm not sure about this guy. I mean, what they want, you got a world-class manager or an elite manager at Chelsea, yeah? They go for the young manager, yeah? Who does as is told, yeah? It's got no control on transfers, yeah? Exactly. He's happy to sign a 5-year contract. For me, I'm not going to lie to you, right? This is a gamble, yeah? The reason they've gotten on Pep's recommendation, yeah? No one ain't Pep. No one ain't going to be better than Pep, yeah? Well, unless it's Ancelotti, Simeone, Zaghi, yeah? But at the end of the day, right, this is a huge gamble. And I've seen Chelsea fans. There's a channel I watched yesterday, and he was absolutely furious about this appointment.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, John. I mean, look, he was coach at City, went to Leicester. I mean, Leicester nearly blew going up because he had a run where he was just losing games. And they managed to pull it back on track. But, you know, maybe they thought it was Pep Guardiola, but didn't realise they're both from Wish instead.
Yeah. Well, he got sacked after 14 games at Parma. No one mentioned that. And this is the thing, right? This is why people need to look at the whole picture, right? Yeah. Listen to people. Don't pile on anybody. Let them have an opinion. Yeah. Would they do that to Alice? Alice talks football. Right. Let's add on. Would they pile on her if she come out of that? I bet you $1 million or £1 million they won't.
Okay, yeah. I just think it's a right gamble if he went there. Stay at Leicester City, see how he does in his first season. It's like there was talks with McKenna going to Chelsea, but he's decided. I think he's decided to stay at Ipswich and sign a long-term. He's going to sign a long-term contract with him,
which I applaud him for. I think that's well done.
Big up to him, man. Big up to him. Because I'll tell you something now, right? I hope Chelsea mess up at the season. Sorry, Chelsea fans, but they're going to have a transitional season. So will Liverpool, yeah? And I'll tell you what, I mean, we're just going to hit the ground. All we got to do, we got to hit the ground running next season. We need to hit that ground running next season. But Chelsea's got to do it.
Next season is a big season for Eddie Howe, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
And that's only if he's still here as manager, because obviously Southgate goes, we know England's going to come knocking. And how much can we resist it? That's the thing. And how much will Eddie resist it? That is the other question as well. But let's not think about that. Let's think about Eddie Howe being next season, right? Now, he has got to hit the ground running. Now, whatever players that come in that club, he's got to make sure that he gets that team playing well. And we start. The key is to start off well.
They have to.
I don't know who will get first game of the season. It's going to be interesting. But the key is he needs to. It's a big season for Eddie Howe because Europe is going to be a minimum, and I say a ballpark minimum next season. And if we don't get Europe at the end of next season and we don't win a trophy, then I think Eddie will be out the door. I really do. Because why are they going to keep on keeping with Eddie Howe when we're not going anywhere? That's what I'm saying. So next season, I think that they've probably said to Eddie Howe, okay, we haven't got Europe this year. Next year, we want to see an improvement. We want to be in Europe. We want to be knocking on the door. But we want to get in that door.
Can I just
now look at Tottenham? Tottenham without Europe last season finished 5th. They could have finished higher, but maybe Ang Postecoglou got found out. It's going to be interesting how he does this season. So, but there again, I think if we start off really bad and we're struggling, I think the pressure will be massively on Eddie Howe. And it wouldn't surprise me if he was let go very early in the season, depending how we get. But that's depending how we start. That's what I'm saying. But Eddie will know himself he's under massive pressure next season to probably get us into a European place and to at least try and get us, well, hopefully try and win us a trophy. Because teams are going to be playing European competitions. We're only going to be playing in 3. So, you know, I think we need to go for that Carabao Cup next season.
Or make any trophy, or just any trophy and get in Europe as well.
Do you agree with that, John?
Well, I mean, look, I'm going to back Eddie all the way, yeah? But I'm not being funny, but I've seen people, right, want Eddie to be sacked, right? But he's got to do well. Like, he's got to not pick his favourites in the summer. He's got to pick a quality squad. The midfield is going to be crucial, right? I love Eddie to bits. Everyone knows that, right? But he's got to hit that ground running because the last time we won a trophy, for those in the chat, I'm going to say it again. We haven't won a trophy since 1969, the first cup. We haven't won the FA. The last domestic trophy won is in 1955. And on top of that, we haven't won the title since 1927. Yeah? 1927, people. Just hear this out, yeah? I want to win something this season, yeah? Elite sports is all about winning. Trophies, yeah? Clubs like Luton, Leicester, Oxford, yeah? Everton, won trophies.
Yeah.
Yeah? We haven't won a trophy since 69. It's been 55 years, yeah? And then some of the people I've seen on social media come out and say, we got to be patient, yeah? But 55 years. What would you rather win? A trophy or be in the top 4? For me, a trophy all day long.
Cracking to have.
All day long. And then,
I mean, Ian's saying there, people are saying how out already. I've not said how out. All I've said is you'll be under pressure. Like any manager's under pressure.
The main problem is... The main problem is Deadwood and FFP. That's our problems. We've got some of the Deadwood, trying to get some of it now, but we need to start listening to some offers, some players who are in contract. Yeah, that's the thing, and move those on who need to be moved on.
Yeah, Ian said I'm joking, mate. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not shouting for Eddie out, but I mean, look. I think Eddie Howe knows as well that this is really now going to be major for him because he'll have been with the club for nearly 3 years now. And,
3 years, yeah.
You know, we've gone from, the thing is, this is how fickle fans can be. And we've seen it. Look, if we had finished 7th our first season, like not last season, but the season before. If we finished 7th, if you turn the tables around, we finished 7th and then finished 4th this season. That's just finished. Then people would have said, "Wow, hail Eddie, King Eddie." But because we finished 4th, then 7th, people are saying it is regression rather than progression. So they're thinking, "Oh well, Eddie Howe's not that great because he's not kept us back in that top 4. But the thing is, yes, we've had injuries. We can't keep using the injuries as an excuse. We've had injuries. We're playing injured players as well, which shouldn't be happening. The club are going to do an investigation into all these injuries. That's including Eddie Howe, including the sports scientists, the medical staff, coaching staff, everybody. Because they're going to see where these injuries are coming from and why they're having so many. Is our medical team just taking yes for granted of a player and saying, all right, okay, they're fit, they can go out and play? Shouldn't be. If you don't think that player's 100% fit, you should say you're not 100% fit.
That's it.
Great.
But the club will do their investigation on this, I'm sure, and get it sorted out.
Yeah.
But I would like to see, but I don't want us just to be hamstrung on buying just English players. I know people are saying Eddie Howe's got a fascination with it and all this. Look, we got to broaden the net. Have a look around. There are players abroad.
Yep.
Who are just as good, if not better, than some English players. And I'd rather bring them in. We're looking at Calvert-Lewin.
Not for
I'm
me.
sorry, not for me. A 1 in 4 game, 1 goal every 4 games, not for me. If we're battling, say if we're in a cup final or whatever, and we need to bring a goal scorer on, do you bring Calvert-Lewin on to get you the goal? That's the thing. So we just got to make sure this transfer window is spot on this summer. Remember, Tonali's going to be back. He's going to be basically like a new signing.
Yep.
Now, if you look at Tonali, when the pressure was off, when he knew all this had come out about his gambling and everything after him and Fagioli was sent from the training camp from Italy. But once it came out, he actually started playing pretty well, Tonali, until he was banned. But look, you see the training videos. He's training very well. Eddie Howe says he's doing well in training. So what I want to see is, I think we'll see a different Tonali next season. I think we'll see a world-class Tonali. And if I'm honest, if Longstaff's still there, I can't see him still be. If Longstaff goes, I think we have to sell him. If we get the money for him, sell him, because we make 100% profit on that sale because he's come from our academy. He's homegrown. So there's a good loophole there for FFP as well. And don't forget, we've got Champions League money to come. We've got Adidas money. We got the seller sponsorship money as well. We've also got the trip from Australia and then Japan. That's going to come to about 10 million quid. So look, there's lots of revenue coming. Amanda Staveley's talking about them talking to a potential sponsor the other day. So look, I wouldn't worry too much on FFP because I'm sure the club know what they're doing. I'm sure they've got the best accountants in the world who can say, right, let's look through and see how much you can spend. They're probably, the media might sit out there and say, we've only got 150 million. You don't know that. Thing is, the accountants might look at the books and say, technically you got 300 million to spend. So look, we don't know. Nobody knows. Only the club know. Only the people who own the club, the hierarchy of the club, only they know.
And
where they are at FFP.
Sorry. And also as well, people say we go by young players here, young players there. We need to get players that are actually ready to come straight into the first team. That is what we need. None of this potential. And I'll go back to James Trafford. Yeah. We've got to get them coming in, right? Who is ready to go. Yeah. Come in on the day, bosh. That is it. But I think Eddie was one of the players' favourites again. I mean, if Miley's fit, which will be in the summer, get this guy in until Tonali comes back.
Absolutely. Shift Deadwood out.
Absolutely.
And get rid of hopefully it's as soon to say goodbye to a certain snake at the club as well.
Yep, Ashworth. And remember I said to you guys, right, I said between 8 and players needs to be gone, yeah? It looks like going to be right. 5 is already gone, yeah? And people say you can't get rid of all the players, yeah? Now that's been proved.
It's been proved they're not good enough anymore. Dubravka, Target,
Longstaff.
Yep, Miggy Almiron.
Miggy.
Mm-hmm.
Wilson, if they can get a fee for him, because we love him a bit, but I think it's time to him to go because he needs to be moved on now with his injury record as well, and go out and get a striker in.
Yeah, I agree. Right, so I'm going to come to the end of this poll, and the poll is in third place, Pete's on 12%. John's in second on 19%, and 16% have said that I had the best squad. So thank you very much to everybody who voted in that poll.
Well then.
But yeah, thank you very much indeed, and another great contribution for the show. I like to try and put something in the chat for people just so they can interact with something, and it's always good for people because everybody likes to interact and have that say, things like that. Look, we're going to come to the end of the show because we've been on over an hour and 15 minutes, but I'll tell you what, it's been a cracking show tonight, something totally different. We've done a bit of fun. Yes, obviously the squads we've picked and the combined squad isn't going to be the squad that's going to the Euros, we know that, but you know, at the end of the day, it's nice just to have our thoughts on what players we want in the squad. You know, I threw a few curveballs in there, and Pete's put some in, and John as well. So look, you know, it's been absolutely a cracking show tonight. So before we go, as well, don't forget that if you're on the channel here on It's All Black and White TV, if you can smash that like, it will be absolutely fantastic. It does help the channel. It does mean new viewers find it more easy. And if you are brand new to the channel, come and subscribe, come and join this great community. Also, hitting the bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming shows. I am on the way to 1,200 subscribers, so it'd be great if I can get there. Right, I'm going to come to you, Pete. Let everybody know where they can find you, and more importantly, have you got anything coming up?
Done that, PD Prologue, nearly halfway to get to 2,200 subscribers. So please do check out my channel, and there's all socials being share screened to my channel. So far, I did actually do a video on about the place, but unfortunately there was something wrong with the lighting, unfortunately. So unfortunately I haven't managed to upload that because I've looked it back and I thought, nah, I can upload that, unfortunately. So apologies about that, everyone. The next scheduled live show is this Friday at 8 o'clock. You know what that show is?
Yeah, the Crazy Picks.
The Crazy PD's football live show, 8 o'clock Friday night. That's the next scheduled live show it's going to be so far.
Excellent, excellent. And John, let people know where they can find you and what you've got coming up as well.
Okay, thanks so much for having us on, Pete. Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, I've got Soph from Guna Gossip TV. Big Arsenal fan. Go for the review. My review as well. Oh, I'll tell you what, though, her attitude is so spot on. She can teach a few of our trolls and keyboard warriors of our fan base a thing or two. Let's be honest about that. And I will say that as well. And she's no pushover as well. She'll be on tomorrow and 7 o'clock. On Friday, I'll be on Harry Scarce's channel, same time, 7 o'clock on his channel. We're going to talk about a review again, footy chats, and also we're going to talk about, again, the Trolls. So this is his channel, yeah. He wants to talk about it as well. And I'm very, very,
I'll be waiting for Mary on Friday with her comments.
Very, 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 very few. And yeah, so I've got those two planned out. And the weekend, haven't decided yet. I think I'm on this channel, recorded channel for Man City fan as well. So that'll be recorded. And other than that, that's all I've got planned at the minute. But I'm hoping to trying to get big names on my channel as well. I had Alice the other day. That went well and fantastic. And I'm going to try and get some more people on. Watch this space.
Excellent, John. Excellent.
Excellent, John.
Yeah, so you know where you can find my channel. It's on YouTube. It's All Black and White TV. Also, I'm on Twitter with the same handle as well, same channel. So you can follow me on there as well, and I'll follow you back. Always follow people back. So I've got some shows probably this week, but I'm not sure when yet or what. So do keep an eye out for that. If you hit the bell notification, you get notified. But more importantly, when the Euros start, There will be a Euro roundup every night. So at about 10 p.m. every night, we'll have a look at the games that's happened on the day. And we'll look back on them games and also any England news or even any Newcastle United news, because you never know, there might be something comes of that as well. So there'll be that coming out every night. I'll be doing pre-matches for the England games as well, so do catch me for that, where I'll bring you the lineups. And then also do match reactions, things like that for the games afterwards. So do keep an eye out for that. So there's going to be a lot on for the Euros throughout the month, but also there'll be Newcastle content, because that's mainly what this channel's about, Newcastle content. But obviously, because it's Euros and we'll have a month of football, which is great because it means that the season comes a little bit quicker with watching the Euros. So we can't wait for that. So yeah, so I've got lots of stuff to come up as well. And as I say, do hit that subscribe if you're new to this channel, and and help me get along towards that 1200 mark. That'd be fantastic. But the end of the day, we just have to wait and see what happens. We can't wait for next Friday when the shirts are announced. Looking forward to that. We're looking forward to the shirt launch next Friday, and I know with Adidas it'll be a lot different than it was with Castore, because when I ordered on Castore, when it first came out, I didn't get my shirt straight away. It took them nearly 3 months to send it out, which I thought was very poor, but they were quick enough to take the money. But this time, I know with Adidas, it's a different company, and they're a lot more professional outfit than what Castore are. Let's be honest. Yeah, absolutely. And the fact they're putting retro badges on the back, I love that as well. I love that. So fantastic. I have seen pictures of today of the store and the shirt, the jackets they had in there. They look immense. They look lovely. Wow. And yes, they've got no branding on them, but I bet they're made by Adidas. It wouldn't surprise me if they're not.
There you go. It's just goodbye, Castore, in the bin.
Yeah, absolutely. We all love a good laugh for the Euros. Yeah, absolutely.
We do. Yeah. Thank you for the comment there as well, by the way, and Ian.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Ian, as well. So look, that was a great show tonight. We've had a look. Like I say, we've come up with our own squads and then combined them. So absolutely brilliant. Just can't wait for the football to start. But that's not far away. But there is a Champions League match on Saturday at Wembley Stadium. Borussia Dortmund versus Real Madrid. That should be a cracking game. Hopefully one day we'll be involved in one of those Champions League finals. One day we will be there, I'm sure. One day. Don't know when, but we will get there hopefully one day. Mm-hmm. But remember, the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white. And it's bye-bye from me.
Me.
We're the lads.
We're the lads.